All right, 1 second. I am just about done setting this up. All right, ready to play.
Good afternoon, Genesys gamers. I'm MBT, and this is 100-Point Playtesting. Today we're talking about the oldest game there is, chess. Why, it seems like just yesterday when the first Neanderthal scratched his sloping brow and activated the effect of Angelechy Shatranga. Anyway, here's CENTUR-ION chess.
Kasparov is conglomerating his pawns into a mega chessatron.
So here's the list. As always, I'll give you a background about the archetype, a little bit of a discussion about what I hope the deck can do, and of course, the card by card. But first, this video is sponsored by Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck. Looking for a place to find inspiration for Genesys decks? Well, look no further. I've already spent years telling you about how Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck is the best repository of deck lists, strategy articles, third-party assistance with alternate ways to play Yu-Gi-Oh!, and card collection management on the internet. But right now, it's also the best way to find Genesys lists. You can sort by deck type, filter high-level tournaments to see what's been working, and download decks you see in any format you desire. That's why I'm proud to be sponsored by www.ygoprodeck.com. Now back to the video. With that, let's consider chess. Chess, or Angelechy if you want to be specific, is a TCG exclusive archetype that's got, like most TCG exclusive archetypes, a lot of promise. This archetype's incredibly adept at setting up protection for the board, a ticking life point clock, and a monster effect limit of 5. What makes these cards sing in Genesys are their Overframe, Witness, their access off of any 8-star monster, courtesy of Glitch, Clutch, Nullgainer, and their splashability into other archetypes. It's been tried with BES Crystron, White Forest, and a ton of stuff that already automatically wins if it wins the die roll, but we're going to try it in CENTUR-ION, since it can both do something with the bodies and get to the line on its own. So with that, let's get into the card by card. First up, we're starting with some hand traps. There's not a lot of monsters in here. 3 Skullmeister, 1 CENTUR-ION Gargoyle 2, and 1 Atri. We've got 3 copies of Book of Lunar Eclipse, 3 Emblema Oath, and 1 Wake Up CENTUR-ION. After that, we've got 3 Angelechy Problems, 3 Angelechy Disturbances, and 1 CENTUR-ION Phalanx. And with that, we are 19 cards deep and getting into the pointed ones. We're going to begin with Witness of the Ancient, which, if you have a Synchro Monster in your field or graveyard, can special this card from your hand, and if special summoned, can put up to 3 Synchro Monsters with different names face up from your extra deck as continuous spells. And also, you can summon a token with a level equal to the number of placed, and you're locked except for synchros. We've got 3 Fuelos, 3 Stand-Up CENTUR-ION, 3 CENTUR-ION Prima, 3 CENTUR-ION Trudea, 3 DD Crow, 3 Forbidden Chalice, and 2 Cosmic Cyclone in the extra. We've got 2 Legatia and a Snake Eyes Vengeance. This deck makes 12s like nobody's business. A Despian Lulua Lilith, a Fabled Leviathan. I promise you it's an integral part of the end board. 2 Shatranga, 1 Stellar Wind Wolf Riot, 1 Bastion, double Primera Primus, double Enlisted, a Glitch Clutch Nullgainer, which searches Witness, and a Destroyer, which of course goes infinite with Beals, so we had to put a point on it. In the side, we've got 3 No Material, 2 Pair Bear Scare, 3 Spellcard Monster Reborn, 3 Twin Twisters, 3 Typhoon, and a CENTUR-ION True Awakening for going first. So with that, let's check out a match. Our match is up against Doom Z, and they've got a card you're about to see. Down comes Dimension Shifter. Exciting. All right, well, we're going to begin with a copy of Primera. We'll grab a Phalanx, set a couple of cards, and pass. Not too much we can do into this setup with this hand. They're going to draw for turn. It is going to be a copy of 7th Tachyon, revealing 101 for surfacing Big Jaws. Don't get used to seeing this play. It is not going to last forever. That Big Jaws is coming down because the spell's been activated. They'll grab a Drake Shark from deck to hand. They'll summon into their side of the field, then overlay for the rank 4 Evil Swarm Exciton Knight. That is probably worth a negate here. They're going to go for the effect We Will Forbidden Chalice, and then afterwards they're going to go for Doomsy Change to pop an Amalthe. They'll activate that effect in order to grab an Alara, and then afterwards, of course, they have not performed the normal, so down comes the Alara. Alara effect is going to go ahead and set a card as they go for the effect of the Doomsy Raiders. We'll activate Phalanx here, just hoping they don't have another Doomsy, because we're probably cooked if they do, and thankfully they don't, which means we now get to be in the driver's seat just a little bit. And now that we have access to our graveyard once again, let's start using it. We are going to begin with a copy of Trudea off the top for a Primera. That Primera can come out and then activate its on-field effect in order to grab a Stand-Up CENTUR-ION. Stand-Up CENTUR-ION is an incredibly powerful field spell card that gets us everything we need. We will send a Disturbance, then chain the Disturbance for a problem on our way to resolving the CENTUR-ION Stand-Up for a Gargoyle. Out it comes, an 8+4 is 12, so we'll go Legatia effect here in order to draw and then pop, and then afterwards we're just going to go ahead and go for Witness. Witness here is going to set a couple of cards and then activate its effect to summon a token. We'll go Bastion and Destroyer here. Afterwards, we can set a Shatranga and activate its effect as well. Now that our back row is well and truly full, we will go for the effect of Problem, summon an Enlisted, and activate Gargoyle, sending a Trudea, so we can go for a copy of Vengeance Dragon as well as end on enough points of damage to beat our opponent's butt in. So the deck's pretty good at objective survive. That's how it performs on the play, but what does it do on the draw? Well, for game 2, we've drawn a Foolos, which I'm feeling pretty good about. Our opponent's going to begin with a copy of Master Dusk Crow, kind of a weird open, but is part of 1-card rank force. They'll go for the effect of the Fountain here in order to summon the Fountain at their side of the field. We will activate the effect of our Foolos, and they will go into Graflario, giving us 2 draws. They'll grab a Raiders, then afterwards, they will activate the effect of the Raiders in order to pop the Graflario, declining to activate the Graflario effect in Graveyard in order to prevent an additional draw. This mostly means they're going to end on a Drastia pass, but once I see the Alara pop off the change, I know that I'm going to have to activate my Skullmeister or I'll be in for Droll as well. Our opponent will pass turn here, and we might be able to do this, especially with such powerful cards in our hand. We'll go for Stand-Up Centurion, and we'll pitch the Phalanx. They're going to go for Ghost Ogre, and alright, we probably lose here. We're going to set our Forbidden Chalice, not that it's going to do us much good with that Doom Durg available. We will activate it on the Alara, but they'll activate a Drastia targeting the Alara, which allows them to pop it for a copy of Graflario, and then Big Jaws. Big Jaws effect grab Shark Drake, and then summon the Shark Drake to their side of the field. That's going to get them necessary material for a 4 into a Champion Sargus, who will grab a Therion King Regulus. I mean, I guess we can DD Crow, the only machine in the graveyard, but we're already dead. Here they get to go for Sargus Direct and Drastia Direct, then hop into a Drastarus, which is 100 off until they activate its effect. Though we can negate the effect of the Graflario popped, we can't stop the 35 from killing us. So it's time for that all-important Game 3, and finally we're going to be able to pop off uninterrupted. Okay, well, let's first and foremost begin with a copy of Problem. Problem's going to activate. We will pitch this copy of Lunar Eclipse to grab an Enlisted, a Bastion, and a Shatranga. We will grab a Disturbance as well. Next, let's go ahead and activate Emblema Oath for a Centurion Prima, then activate its effect to summon it to our side of the field, and activate its effect once again for Centurion True Awakening. From here, we can go ahead and set the Stand-Up Centurion, activate its effect, sending a Forbidden Chalice for a Trudea, and Trudea's effect, summoning it to our side of the field, so that we can set an Atri. Atri here will summon itself, and then we'll go into a Primera Primus. We'll go ahead and draw some cards and grab an Emblema Oath. Then afterwards we can set 2 and pass back to our opponent. Now I promise you this is like 40 points of interaction, and they are on a clock. Exactly 5 monster effect activations. Here's one, the Stratos for a Stratos. They're going to try and pop our Shatranga in order to get over it. We'll go for Trudea instead, and then activate the effect of our Stand-Up Centurion in order to pop their monster with Legatia. They'll go E-Call here for a Miracle Ejector. They'll activate the effect of the Miracle Ejector in hand so that the Stratos can still pop. That's 2. The Stratos is 3. They will go for the pop. We'll activate Disturbance and give them Enlisted, which means that we will cut them on 5, getting ourselves a Shatranga. They will pop for a Drastia, here a Raiders, and then we'll activate the effect of Disturbance in Graveyard to just get a Problem out of our deck. From here, they can activate their very last monster effect activation, the Drastia, to which we respond with our own Centurion True Awakening. They'll make Exciton Knight, but I guess they're just hoping that we're going to go to battle. That's not going to happen. Shatranga will deal with it with the quickness, and then Trudea comes out, setting a copy of Primera alongside the Emblema Oath. Primera here gets Centurion Gargoyle 2, and I think this is just straight up lethal on board, courtesy of A Hero Lives. From here, we're going to be able to activate the Gargoyle 2, summon it to our side of the field for another Legatia, and then, I don't know, we could theoretically go for Cosmic Cyclone even. Instead, let's just get in for lethal. So we're back with the deck, and, well, you wouldn't expect a deck like this to be flashy, but it was. Let's do the pros and cons. First, the pros. 1. The mass spell trap removal in the format is pointed, so a lot of people think they can get away with an MST and a prayer. Not really so in this strategy. 2. Centurion is a pretty underexplored and unexpected side engine. The Primus loop is enough to outgrind a significant amount of the format. And 3. 5 is not enough. And the cons. 1. You're kind of screwed out of a lot of really powerful spell traps just by virtue of not having any back row space available at all. 2. Ghost Ogre does double duty against both of your field spells. And 3, it's a little bricky. Since so many of your cards are just sort of dupes for each other, you can really miss on important stuff. All in all, don't get tricked into thinking this is the only place chess is playable. I'll see you again next week.